I never thought I'd kill for family, but when my son, Ethan, inherited $350 million and had me tossed out like yesterday's trash, I realized blood doesn't always run thicker than greed. That same week, as I huddled in a shelter reeking of despair, a shadowy deal with a black market neurotech hacker swapped my broken body for one that could strike back his rivals, sleek and untouchable. Now, watching Ethan unravel from the inside of a life he stole from me, I whisper to the mirror, "You created a monster, Mom. Time to become one yourself." It started in the penthouse haze of our old life, back when the city lights of New York felt like stars we'd caught in our palms. I'm Vivian Hargrove, 52 years young, or was, before the swap turned me into Elena Voss, 41 and fierce, the kind of woman who closes billion-dollar deals while sipping bourbon neat. But before all that, I was just a mom from Queens, scraping by on waitressing tips and night classes in accounting, raising Ethan alone after his deadbeat dad bolted for Vegas showgirls. We were survivors, you and me against the world. Kid. I'd kill for you, I'd said 1,000 times, tucking you in with stories of underdogs toppling empires. Turns out, I meant it literally. Ethan was 15 when lightning struck. His grandfather, Harlan Hargrove, the oil baron who disowned my sister for marrying beneath her station, croaked from a heart attack in his Wyoming ranch house. The old bastard hadn't spoken to me since I was 20, but his will? It was a grenade with Ethan's name on it. $350 million. Wired straight to my boy's trust the day he turned 18. For the grandson who reminds me of my fire, Harlan's lawyer droned, as if the codicil for giving my existence wasn't the real gut punch. Ethan, fresh out of high school, eyes wide as saucers, hugged me so tight I thought we'd fused souls. "We're set, Mom. No more ramen. We're gonna live like kings." Kings. Yeah. Right. At first, it was golden. We ditched the Roach Motel for a Tribeca loft with views that mocked the skyline. Ethan enrolled at Columbia Business Track. Naturally, while I finally quit slinging hash browns and started my own bookkeeping gig for startups. Evenings, we'd crack open Harlan's vintage scotch, toasting to the future. "This is ours, Viv," he'd say, clinking glasses. "You and me forever." I believed him. God, I did. What mom wouldn't? I'd borne his secrets, covered his tracks, that shoplifting bust at 14, the joyride that totaled my Corolla. Hell, I'd even taken the fall for his forged transcript to get him into that elite prep school. "It's for your future," I'd lied to the dean, swallowing the expulsion they slapped on my volunteer record instead. Betrayal? It was woven into our DNA. But money's a solvent, eats through bonds like acid on silk. 6 months in, Ethan started vanishing, nights at study groups that smelled like Chanel No. 5 and Cuban cigars. The loft filled with strangers, trust fund vipers in bespoke suits, whispering about disrupting industries while eyeing my thrift store blouses like I was the help. Then came Sophia Langford, the Viper Queen herself, heir to a pharma dynasty. She slithered into our lives at a gala Ethan dragged me to, her laugh like shattered crystal. "Vivian, darling, you're adorable," she cooed, as if I were a pet rock. Ethan lapped it up, ditching family dinners for her yacht parties. I saw the shift, his eyes glazing over my stories, his hugs turning obligatory. The first crack was subtle, a snide comment about my vintage purse at Thanksgiving. By Christmas, He was echoing Sophia's digs. Mom, maybe upgrade the wardrobe? We're not in Queens anymore. I laughed it off, chalking it up to growing pains. But pain grows thorns. January hit, and Ethan dropped out of Columbia. Sophia's dad hooked me up with a real opportunity, he announced over takeout Thai. Real opportunity. Interning at Langford Labs, the cutthroat biotech firm that had been Harlan's longtime foe. Sophia's father, Victor Langford, was a silver fox with a smile like a switchblade. Boardrooms trembled at his name, and rumor had it he'd buried more bodies than a mob hitman. All legal via loopholes wider than the Hudson. I smelled trouble, but Ethan waved me off. Trust me,
Mom.
This is big. Big it was. By spring, he was consulting full-time, pulling 7 figures in bonuses. The loft, upgraded to a Soho penthouse. Minimalist chic that screamed, I arrived. My bookkeeping? Cute hobby, he said, handing me a credit card with a limit that bought silence. But silence costs. I started noticing the late-night calls. Ethan's voice hushed. Yeah. Victor. I got the files. Harlan's offshore accounts, it's all there. Files? Harlan's will had been ironclad, but whispers in high society said Victor had been sniffing around, desperate to crush the Hargrove legacy after a patent war left Langford Labs bleeding market share. One night, I couldn't sleep. Penthouse quiet as a tomb. I padded to Ethan's study, former guest room, now a fortress of screens and shredders. The door was ajar, and there he was, backlit by his laptop, typing furiously. Upload the decryption key, Victor's voice crackled from the speaker. This buries Harlan's ghost for good. Ethan's fingers flew.
Done.
But the old man's codicil, it's airtight. Unless. A pause. Heavy as lead. Unless we prove fraud. Mom's signature on those trust docs? I can make it look forged. My blood turned to ice. Forged? I'd signed every paper. Notarized. For Ethan's sake. The secret he'd buried, I'd covered for Harlan's slush fund once. Years ago. To secure Ethan's inheritance. A mistake I'd paid for in nightmares. Thinking it'd protect us.
Now.
Ethan was twisting it into a noose for me. I confronted him at dawn. Coffee mug trembling in my grip. What the hell? Ethan? You're selling out your own grandfather? He didn't flinch. Just sipped his espresso. Eyes cold as Wall Street rain. Grandfather? The guy who called you trash? This is survival.
Mom.
Victor's offering partnership. Real power.
Partnership.
The word curdled. I pressed. And me? What about the trust docs? You can't forge, he cut me off. Voice like a guillotine. You think I want this? But you're obsolete. Queen's mom in a billionaire's world? Victor says cut ties. Or the deal's off. Obsolete.
My boy.
The one I'd bled for. Reduced me to a liability. That afternoon, the locks changed. Movers in hazmat suits, irony. Right? Box my life into hefty bags while Ethan watched from the balcony. Sophia draped on his arm like a trophy. It's for the best. Viv, he called down, voice cracking just enough to twist the knife. Best for who? The eviction notice cited breach of lease. Forged. Naturally. With my signature as the tenant. No warning. No mercy. By dusk, I was on the street, clutching that faded photo of toddler Ethan in a Superman cape. Rain blurring the ink. 350 million. And I was homeless. Betrayal? It was a gutting, soul-deep evisceration. Days blurred into shelters and soup kitchens, the city's underbelly gnawing at my pride. I clawed for answers. A burner phone to a PI buddy from my waitressing days, who confirmed the worst. Ethan hadn't just cut me loose. He'd fed Victor the keys to Harlan's empire. Offshore accounts drained, stocks tanked, Langford Labs swallowed it whole in a hostile merger.
My boy.
Now Ethan Langford Hargrove in the tabloids, toasting with champagne flutes while I scavenged for quarters. But the real gut punch? The secret Ethan buried deeper than bodies. That mistake I'd taken the fall for wasn't just Harlan's slush fund. It was Ethan's. At 16, high on pills swiped from Sophia's early circle, he'd crashed a car into a pedestrian, a delivery guy, father of 3. Dead on impact. Cops called it an accident. But the tuck screen? Buried by Harlan's lawyers. With me signing the NDA as guardian, I'd gambled our future to shield him, thinking love could rewrite fate.
Now.
That shield was his sword. Rage festered, a black bloom in my chest. I needed leverage. A way in. That's when I hit the dark web forums, desperation's yellow pages, stumbling on NeuroShift, a rogue collective peddling body swap tech. Black market neural mapping. Ripped from DARPA rejects. Upload your mind. Download into a host. Illegal as hell. Price tag in the millions. But they had a demo vid of a Wall Street wolf waking up in a janitor's skin. Revenge served fresh, the tagline read. I pawned grandma's locket. Scraped $8,000, enough for a consult. Met the hacker in a Brooklyn warehouse. Shadows dancing like demons. Why, he rasped, tattooed fingers flying over a hollow screen. Son, I spat. Wants me dead. Metaphorically. I want in on his world, literally. He laughed. A wet hack. Host matters. Elena Voss, Victor's right hand. She's your ticket. But swaps ain't clean, glitches. Echoes. Ewan, echoes be damned. 2 nights later, in a Faraday-caged van stinking of ozone, they wired me up. Needles like fire in my veins, world dissolving to code. Wake up, silk sheets. A body taut as a bowstring. Elena Voss stared back from the vanity, raven hair. Cheekbones that could cut glass. Curves that turned heads in boardrooms. My old form? Dumped in a Queens motel. Comatose but breathing. Courtesy of the hacker's ethics clause. Vivian Hargrove was gone. Elena Voss was born again with my grudge. First move. Infiltrate. Elena's calendar was a war map. Meetings with Victor. Lunches with Sophia. I played the part. Voice modulator smoothing my Queen's rasp to Park Avenue purr. Darling. The merger's gold. I cooed a Victor over oysters at Le Bernardin. His eyes lingering like he owned me.
He did.
Once.
Now?
I own the keys to his kingdom.
Ethan?
Spotted him at the family estate in the Hamptons. All golden boy glow. Arm candy Sophia giggling at his jokes. He didn't recognize Elena. Why would he? She was the faceless exec who'd greenlit his consulting gig. But I knew him. The twitch in his jaw when lies piled up. The way he'd rub his thumb like he was still gripping that stolen wheel. Nights. Alone in Elena's minimalist loft. Icebox to our old warmth, I plotted. The betrayal ran deep. Not just the money, but the erasure. Ethan hadn't just thrown me out. He'd rewritten our story, painting me as the gold digger who'd clawed for Harlan scraps. Tabloids ate it up. Billionaire heir cuts toxic mom loose. Toxic. The word scarred. But secrets? They fester. Victor's pet project at Langford Labs, neuroshift prototypes, laundered through Harlan's patents. Ethan had delivered them. My boy, the Trojan horse. To strike back, I'd need proof, emails, ledgers, the smoking gun of their conspiracy. Week 3. I hacked Elena's archives, child's play with my bookkeeping chops. Buried in metadata, Ethan's forged docs, time-stamped from his laptop.
And deeper?
Victor's endgame. The swap tech wasn't just revenge candy, it was a weapon. Project Echo, memos read, mass uploads for elite continuity, billionaires cheating death by hijacking fresh bodies. Ethan's trial run? Unwitting. They tested a partial map on him during a routine scan, glitches making him paranoid. Erratic. That's why he turned on me. Echoes of Victor's code in his veins. Twisting love to loathing. Climax brewed at the Langford Gala. Black tie venom in a Guggenheim atrium. Crystal chandeliers dripped light like blood money. Air thick with caviar and conquest. I arrived as Elena. Crimson gown hugging this borrowed skin. Diamonds winking like lies. Ethan cornered me by the bar. Breath, whiskey sour. Voss. You see the headlines? Merger sealed. We're unstoppable.
We.
The word mocked. Sophia sidled up. Her smile a scalpel. Ethan's a natural. Unlike some.
Hangers on. Hangers on. Me?
In my old life. Rage simmered. But I played cool. Clinking flutes. To family, I toasted, watching him drink deep. That's when Victor pulled strings, literally. A side room. Heavy oak doors. His voice silk over steel. Elena. The Echo phase 2. Ethan's ready. Ready for what? Upload. They plan to shelve his mind in a vault. Body donated to the cause. Fresh meat for Victor's immortality play. Betrayal squared. My son. Pawn in his father-in-law's god complex. He's family now, Victor purred. But assets first. Assets. The $350 million. Funneled back to Langford coffers. Ethan. Blind to the blade at his throat. I slipped a bug into Victor's cufflink, nanotech from the hackers, then ghosted to the terrace. City sprawled below. Indifferent. Dialed my PI. It's Viv. Need you to wake the old me. Time's short. Hook set.
Now. Real.
The gala's afterglow faded into a migraine haze. But my mind was a scalpel, carving paths through the lies. Back in Elena's loft, screens glowed like accusatory eyes as I decrypted the bug's feed. Victor's voice. Oily as ever. Boy's glitches are accelerating. Upload by dawn. Or he spills. Spills what? The memo's I'd swiped painted horror. Project Echo wasn't immortality. It was erasure. Elites uploading consciousness to networked hives. Original bodies culled like spent casings. Ethan's partnership. A one-way ticket to digital purgatory.
His fortune the bribe.
And me, the scapegoat. If glitches hit critical, they'd pin the leaks on Vivian Hargrove. Disgruntled opportunist, my old signature the noose. Dawn broke bloody over the East River. And I was en route to the Queen's Motel. Heart hammering like a fugitive's. The hackers had stashed my body, Vivian. Withered shell, in a coma ward knockoff. IVs dripping life into veins I'd forgotten felt so frail. Nurses in knockoff scrubs eyed me, Elena Voss. Power suit and attitude, like I'd wandered into the wrong zip code. Family one grunted. I flashed Elena's platinum Amex. Upgrade her care. Discreetly. Inside the room, there I was, gray roots bleeding through dye, skin sallow as regret. Touching my own hand, cold, papery, scent echoes rippling. Neural ghosts screaming wrong, wrong, wrong. The swaps glitch, phantom pains, memories bleeding between skins. Ethan's face flickered in my mind, not Elena's. But sentiment's a luxury, revenge is rent. I triggered the reversal protocol via a wristband fob, hacker's insurance policy. Alarms wailed as minds lurched back, Elena's essence flooding her frame elsewhere, mine reclaiming the ruins. Wake up was agony, like surfacing from tar. Coughing,
Gasping.
I clawed for the mirror. Vivian stared back, older, etched with streets, but alive. Elena's team would scramble. Victor's radar pinging anomaly. Time to burn it down. First, the money trail. From a cyber cafe in Flushing, stench of dim sum and desperation, I wired anonymous tips to the SEC, Harlan's accounts, Ethan's forgeries, Langford shell core. Attached the memos. Time-stamped. Fraud at scale, my cover note read. Follow the echoes. Then, the personal gut shot. I hit up Sophia's socials, her Insta a shrine to excess, and deepfaked a vid. Ethan. Midrant. Confessing the crash. The cover-up. My fall as collateral. Mom was the saint. I'm the snake, his avatar sneered. Uploaded to a burner TikTok. Tagged Langford Lies. Views spiked like a virus. By noon, influencers were dissecting. Toxic air trending. Ethan's world cracked audible. My PI patched a call intercept. His voice. Frayed wire.
Soft.
It's blowing up. That vid, it's me. But not Jesus. Victor. What do I do? Victor's reply, ice flows. Contain it. Or you're expendable. Expendable. The word I'd whispered on that rainy sidewalk. Karma's a bitch. But she's got my back. I holed up in a no-tell on the Bowery. Walls thin as alibis. Plotting the controversial pivot. Mercy?
Nah.
But lines blur in the dark. The decision that'd haunt me, leverage the swap tech against them. Hackers owed a favor, full reversal for Elena. But with a Trojan, backdoor into Langford servers. Risky, the lead coder warned. Face pixelated on my laptop. Victor's got firewalls like Fort Knox. Risky? I'd lost everything. Do it, I growled. Or, I go public with your little hobby. Upload initiated. I paced the threadbare carpet. Ghosts of Elena's poise haunting my steps. Memories overlapped. Her boardroom triumphs. My shelter nights. Who was I now? Mom? Monster? The line dissolved when Ethan's text hit my burner. Mom? If that's you behind this shit. Stop.
Please.
We're under attack. Under attack. From the truth I'd birthed. I typed back. Anonymous. Begging already. Son? Thought I was obsolete. Dots danced. Then meet me. Coffee shop. 8th and Bleecker.
Come alone.
Trap?
Probably.
But confrontations crack. Dusk fell like a shroud as I slipped into a hoodie, Vivian's thrift armor, navigating the village's hipster throng. The shop buzzed, baristas slinging oat lattes. Walls scrawled with indie manifestos. Ethan huddled in a corner booth. Face gaunt under the Edison bulbs. No Sophia shield. He spotted me. Froze, like seeing a ghost in flannel. Mom, he breathed.
Half standing.
I slid in opposite. Sophia blosk as my muet. Miss me? His eyes darted guilt. Fear. That old boyish plea.
This.
The leaks. The vid. It's you, isn't it?
How?
I thought. You thought wrong. I cut in. Voice queen's gravel. Like when you thought forging my name would make you king. He paled, hands twisting a napkin to shreds. It was Victor. He said it was temporary, just to secure the deal. I never meant. Lies. Layered like lacquer. Temporary? Locks changed. Bags packed. That's your love.
Ethan.
And the crash? That man's blood on your hands, my hands, signing away our souls. He cracked then, tears streaking. I was scared. The money. It changed everything. Sophia said you were holding me back. Victor promised power. But now, glitches.
Mom.
Voices in my head, telling me to cut deeper.
Help me.
Please. Glitches. Echo's curse. The controversial hook. Pity stirred. Maternal rot. Save him? Or let the noose tighten? I leaned in, breath ghosting his ear. Help, like I helped with the cover-up? Here's the deal, spill on Victor. All of it, Echo. The uploads. The bodies. Or I let the wolves feast. He nodded. Frantic. Spilling like a sieve, dates. Access codes. The Hamptons vault where prototypes hummed. It's not just me, he whispered. Sophia's in deep, her dad's puppet.
But Mom.
If this breaks, we're all done.
We.
Still us. In his fractured mind. I pocketed the intel on a thumb drive.
Stood.
You broke us first. Fix it or join the ghosts. Left him there. Coffee cooling. The city's pulse mocking his sobs. Back at the Notel, I fed the codes to the hackers. Servers breached. Project Echo dossiers downloading. Terabytes of elite sins. But twist one slithered in, Victor's counterhack. My laptop fried. Room plunged dark. Door splintered. Goons in tactical gear. Victor's insignia glinting. Elena, the lead barked, mistaking my frame in shadow.
Sloppy.
I bolted. Fire escape slick with night dew. Heart thunder. Alley chase, boots pounding. Shots cracking air, non-lethal. But close. Dove into the subway. A train rattling like my nerves. Emerging in Harlem's neon underbelly. Safe house. An old contact from bookkeeping days. A retired Fed with grudges.
Viv.
You're playing with napalm, he grumbled. Patching my scrapes. Napalm? Understatement. Overnight. Headlines erupted. Langford scandal. SEC raids. Talking heads on CNN foaming about corporate vampirism. Ethan's face plastered everywhere, golden boy tarnished. My burner buzzed. Sophia. You bitch. He told me everything. We're coming for you. Coming. The hunt. Climax loomed at Victor's stronghold. Langford Tower. Midtown monolith of glass and greed. Intel said Echo's core thrummed in the sublevels, neural hives. Bodies in stasis. To end it, I'd meet inside. Elena's biometrics. Cloned via the back door. But controversial call, too. Drag Ethan in. Texted him chords. Ultimatum. Burn it with me, or burn alone. He showed disheveled. Eyes wild. Mom. I can't. Victor's got leverage. The crash file. Unredacted. Leverage. My mistake.
His chain.
Then we end it together, I said. handing him a drive. Upload this, reversal code. Freeze the ghosts. We infiltrated at witching hour, service elevator. Ethan's keycard a reluctant key. Hull sterile as a morgue, humming with servers. Sublevel, the vault. Pods glowing like coffins, faces slack, tycoons, politicos. Elena among them, serene in limbo. Victor waited, flanked by security. Sophia at his elbow, gunmetal eyes. Vivian, he drawled, no surprise. The original. Touching family reunion. Ethan froze, I didn't. Uploads live. I bluffed. Thumb hovering on a detonator fob. Hackers EMP special. Standoff crackled. You think this stops Echo? Victor sneered. It's bigger, presidents, CEOs. Immortality's the new oil. Sophia spat. Ethan's mine. Always was. Always. The betrayal's root. She'd groomed him from prep school. The crash her idea to hook him. Accidents build empires, she'd whispered.
My boy.
Played like a mark. Ethan's hand trembled on the drive. Do it, I urged. But glitches hit, his eyes glazing. Victor's code surging.
No.
Can't. He lunged, not at Victor.
But me.
Fist connected. Stars bursting. You ruined it, he roared. Voice not his, echoes. Sophia laughed.
Cold.
Security closed in. Chaos erupted in the vault's sterile glow. Pods humming like a dirge for the damned. Ethan's glitch-riddled swing missed its mark. I dodged. Old Queen's footwork trumping borrowed grace, and he slammed into a console. Sparks flying like accusations. Victor barked orders. Secure the boy. Terminate her.
Terminate.
Wall Street euphemism for murder. Security swarmed. Tasers crackling blue lightning. But I was already moving, fob depressed. EMP pulse rippling. Lights flickered. Servers whined to a halt. Pods beeping alarms as Neuralink severed. Ghosts freed. Or fried. No time to ponder. Sophia fired first, compact Glock. Pink pearl grip a sick joke. Bullet whizzing past my ear. Embedding in a pod's glass. Shatterproof. Thank God. I tackled her. Vivian's wiry strength against her Pilates perfection. Nails raking her cheek. Bitch, she hissed. Knee driving for my gut. We rolled. A tangle of silk and spite. Her perfume choking like regret. Ethan thrashed against goons. Glitches ebbing as the pulse cleared his code. Mom, run. Half plea. Half command. Victor loomed. His own piece drawn. Ivory-handled Beretta. Heirloom evil. End this farce, he intoned. Aiming center mass. Controversial split-second. Mercy or mayhem. I could end him. Fob's secondary charge wired to the vault's O2 scrubbers. A gas bloom to choke the elite. But Ethan, my boy. Unraveling, locked eyes. Don't, he mouthed. Don't what? Become them? I yanked the fire alarm instead. Klaxons wailing. Sprinklers drenching us in icy confession. Chaos bought seconds. Goons slipping. Victor cursing as his suit wilted. Sophia scrambled up. Clawing for her gun. I stomped it away. Heel grinding pearl to dust. Your empire's dust too, I snarled. We bolted, Ethan dragging. Half carrying me up service stairs. Lungs burning. Water sheeting like tears. Alarms summoned elevators full of rent-a-cops. We hit the freight lift. Jamming doors with a pod lever pried loose. Descending to the garage. Hearts syncopated thunder. Why'd you come? I gasped, slumped against rusted walls. He wiped blood his nose, glitch broken from his lip. Because you're all I got left.
Victor lied.
The money's tainted. Echo Funds blackmailed half of DC. Tainted. Understatement of the century. Garage erupted. Barriers down. Victor's limo screeching blockade. We hotwired a maintenance van. Ethan's prep school mischief paying dividends, tires squealing into Midtown midnight. Sirens wailed distant, but close enough to taste copper. Where to? He yelled over the roar. My contact, the Fed. He can bury Victor legal.
Bury.
The word hung, heavy with what-ifs. Ethan nodded, jaw set, not boy, but man forged in fire. Or fool's gold. Safe house redux. Fed's brownstone in Harlem. Blinds drawn against dawn's judgment. We burst in. Dripping specters, my contact. Grizzled Gus. Poured whiskeys without a word. Intel dumped. Drives. Memos. Even Sophia's scratched cheek as Exhibit A. This'll topple towers, Gus muttered, eyes gleaming. But blowback, Feds'll want you both.
Both.
Family. Fractured but fused. Ethan collapsed on the couch. Tremors hitting. The glitches. They're gone. But I remember. The crash. Forcing you out. God. Mom. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
A word too small for the chasm. I sat beside him. Hand on his callus now. From climbing ladders he'd kicked away. Sorry doesn't unring bells. But choices do. Controversial olive branch. Forgive? Or fester? Dawn light slanted through cracks. Gilding his face, Harlan's fire. My fight. We'll fix it, I said.
Together.
He nodded. Tears silent. For a beat. It felt like absolution. But twists don't telegraph, they ambush. Mid-morning. Gus's landline rang, burner relay. Victor's voice. Digitized comm. Vivian. Charming ploy. But leverage? I have better. Static. Then a sob. Sophia? No, a child's wail. Ethan's half-sister. Lila. The secret he'd buried deeper than the crash. Lila 8. Product of his dad's Vegas fling. Whom I'd raised summers in secret, shielding from Harlan's wrath. Hand over the drives, Victor purred. Or little Lila joins the pods.
How?
Sophia's digging. No doubt, her vengeance of venom spread. Ethan went white as bone. He's bluffing. But I knew better. Victor's moss-swallowed secrets like canapes. The hidden bomb, Lila's existence. My mistake, extended. I'd funneled trust scraps to her trust. Forging docs again. This time for a ghost girl. Ethan knew. Had signed off. Keep her out of it.
Mom.
She's not blood. Not blood. The betrayal's abyss yawned wider. Controversial crossroads. Ransom the truth. Or weaponize it. I chose hybrid, leak partial files to Reuters. Langford airs scandalous sibling secret. Tabs exploded. Hidden Hargrove. Paparazzi swarming. Victor's play countered. Lila vanished from her foster setup in Jersey. A Langford jet logged to the Caymans. TikTok, his next call taunted. We mobilized. Gus pulling strings for attack team. Ethan wiring what cash he could salvage. But me? Solo shadow. Controversial deep dive. Confront Sophia. Woman to woman. Tracked her to a spa in the meatpacking. Irony's spa day, slipping in as delivery. Hood up. Vivian's ghost. Steam rooms veiled her, towel-wrapped, cucumber eyes. I cornered her in the sauna.
Door barred.
Where's the girl?
She smirked through sweat.
Vivian. The relic. Lila's safe, for now. With Daddy's lawyers. Safe. Code for collateral. Fight 2, no guns. Just fury. She lunged. Nails viper strikes. I countered with a shampoo bottle to the temple, silky smooth, but effective. She crumpled,
Gasping.
Victor's endgame, echoes for the elite. But Lila? Bait to break you. Break me? Shattered already. I zip-tied her with yoga straps. Phone to Gus. Extract incoming. But as sirens neared, Sophia's whisper, Ethan's the real twist. He greenlit it, your eviction. To fund her safety. Family first. Right? Doubts seated.
Thorny.
Back at the brownstone. Ethan paced. Denying. Lies. I protected Lila. Told Victor to back off. Protected. Or pimped. Gus's prelims confirmed. Wire transfer from Ethan Slush. Time-stamped eviction eve. To Langford Charity.
Charity.
My gut twisted. Climax Redux. Storm the Caymans. Private charter. Gus's Fed favors. Touching down on white sand hell. Humidity thick as deceit. Victor's compound. Focolonial fortress. Guards like chess knights. We infiltrated dusk. Ethan and I in dive gear. Slipping mangrove channels. Lila's room, pink prison, overlooked the lagoon. She huddled by the window, thumb in mouth, eyes wide at our shadows. Aunt Viv, whispered myth. Rescue rushed, zipline breach. Tasers zapping guards. Victor waited in the study, cigar smoldering. Lila's nanny gagged beside. Heroics, he drawled. Predictable. Ethan charged. Victor sidestepped. Cane sword flashing. Old money's edge. Slash across Ethan's arm. Blood arcing. I grabbed Lila, bundling her behind bookshelves. Stay down, baby. Standoff 3. Philosophies clashing. You built this. Betrayal's your bloodline, Victor sneered. Harlan started it. Stealing my patents. Patents? The war's root. Harlan's oil tech. Victor's biotech pivot. Stolen formulas. Buried lawsuits. My secretborn? Harlan's confession to me. Years back. I took it.
Viv.
For the boy. For Ethan. The mistake I'd shouldered, testifying false in a deposition. Perjuring to shield the empire. Now. Victor's revenge cycle spun. Ethan. Bleeding. Lunged again. Enough. Tackled Victor. Fists flying, glitches gone. Just rage raw. I freed the nanny. Dialing extraction. But Sophia escaped. Somehow. Burst in. Trank dart in hand. For the family, she cooed. Jabbing Ethan's neck. He slumped. Eyes rolling. Victor rose. Dusting cuffs. Upload him now. End the line. The compound dissolved into pandemonium. Lagoon waves lapping like indifferent witnesses as Sophia dragged Ethan's limp form toward a hidden lift, straight to Victor's private echo chamber. A sub-basement lair of whirring cryotanks and neural webs. Lila clung to my leg, tiny fingers vice-tight, her whimpers the soundtrack to my unraveling. Aunt Viv. Make it stop. Stop. The world was a carousel of sins. Spinning faster. Nanny bolted with a radioed SOS. Guards regrouped. Boots thudding like heartbeats. Victor paused at the lift doors. Silhouette backlit by Hellfire servers. Join us.
Vivian.
Or watch him fade.
Fade.
The word ignited something primal, maternal feral. Controversial calculus. Save Ethan. Risk Lila? Or cut losses? Flee with a girl? I chose the abyss. Take me instead. Victor's laugh echoed.
Hollow.
You? Obsolete flesh. But witness, poetic. Lift doors hiss shut, swallowing them. I scooped Lila, sprinting for the mangroves, branches whipping, mosquitoes feasting on fear. Extraction chopper thup-thupped overhead, Gus's voice crackling. Viv, perimeter's hot, get out. We broke for the beach. Lila hoisted on my back, legs pumping sand. Bullets chewed palms, near misses singing. Dove into surf, salt sting eyes. Swimming for the drop point, a sleek black zodiac bobbing like salvation. Gus hauled us aboard, rotors whipping foam. Ethan, he yelled over the din. Gone under. Under. Victor's grip. Back stateside. Wheels turned frantic, Gus's contacts raiding Langford Tower anew. Warrants waving like white flags. But Victor's fortress? Impenetrable, Diplo immunity via Cayman bribes. Echo shielded as proprietary R&D. Media frenzy peaked. Echo exposed. Protests clogging Wall Street. Pitchforks for the immortals. My face, Vivian splashed anonymous. The mother who fought back. Hero? Villain? Tabs debated. My eviction spun as martyrdom. Ethan's silence screamed. Days blurred, Lila bunkered with Gus's kin. Nightmares of pods, me. Pacing Fed safe houses. Ghosts of Elena's echoes plaguing sleep. Boardroom whispers bleeding into dreams of eviction rain. The secret festered. Had Ethan truly sold Lila out? Wires suggested yes. Transfer logs tying his hand to Victor's relocation fund. Betrayal's echo chamber. But doubt's a drug. I crave truth. Controversial infiltration too. Go rogue. Hooked the hackers anew. One last swap. Partial. Elena's shell for bait. They balked. Glitches compound.
Viv.
You'll fracture. Fracture? Already shards. Midnight van. Needles anew. Mine slice into Elena's revived form, her body. Parked in a Langford clinic post-raid. Comatose from EMP backlash. Wake up. Hospital sterile. Monitors beeping betrayal. Nurses bought the amnesia recovery. Victor's PR spin. Discharged to a monitored penthouse. I played puppet. Elena Voss. Loyal. Leaking cords to Gus's tac team. But Victor summoned. Private jet to the Caymans. Recalibration. I boarded. Pulse racing under Elena's cool facade. Turbulence mirrored my gut. Twists inbound. Compound redux. Victor in the study. Sophia nursing bruises.
Ethan. There.
Strapped to an upload rig. Eyes vacant. IVs dripping sedative. Elena. Darling. Victor greeted. Kiss on cheek like poison. Witness the evolution. Evolution. Upload commencing. Neural map stripping his essence. Body prepped for harvest. Sophia monitored vitals.
Smirking.
He begged for you. Viv. Elena. Pathetic.
Begged.
The hook that hauled me here. I feigned compliance. Sidling to the console, backdoor primed. Vitals stable. I murmured. Fingers dancing keys. Reversal code injecting, subtle. A whisper in the machine. Ethan's eyes flickered. Awareness dawning. Horror blooming. Mom, groan escape straps. Victor spun. What? Alarm wailed, my trigger. Gus's team breaching via mangrove drop. Gunfire popped distant. Compound shuddering. Sophia drew. Traitor. But Ethan. Surging against bonds. Glitches purged. Strength raw. Wrenched free. Tackling her. Fists flew. Her nails raking. He pinned her. Roaring. For Mom. For Lila. Victor bolted for an escape hatch. Cane clattering. I pursued. Elena's heels clicking judgment. Chase through sublevels. Labyrinth of labs. Pods lining walls like silent screams. You can't stop progress, he yelled. Voice echoing. Progress. The arrogance of empires. I cornered him in the core chamber, servers pulsing red alert. Air thick with ozone burn. Progress? You stole lives, Harlan's.
Mine.
Ethan's. He whirled. Beretta raised. Harlan started it, ripping my life's work. This? Justice. Justice. The twist uncoiled. Victor's secret. Buried deeper than Echo. Not just patents. Harlan had swindled Victor's youth. Decades back. A joint venture. Victor's breakthrough neural tech. Harlan's oil cache. Betrayal birthed. Harlan patented solo. Driving Victor to pharma shadows. Family ruined. My mistake. I'd known. Harlan's deathbed ramble. Confessing the theft. Begging me seal it for Ethan's sake. I'd perjured not once, but to bury the theft. Gagging Victor's claims forever. Ethan? Victor's pawn to unearth it. The eviction a ploy to force my hand. Docs with the truth. Leverage to expose. You bore Harlan's sin, Victor hissed. Gun steady. Now pay. Controversial endgame. Shoot or shatter. Gunfire above, Gus closing. I lunged. Elena's lithe form twisting the barrel aside. Struggle savage, his strength old man wiry. My borrowed agility fierce. Shot fired. Grazed my shoulder. Fire bloom. I need his groin. Cane sword skittering. Pinned him against a pod. His face inches, eyes mirrors of my own rage. Justice? You're the monster. Ethan burst in. Bloodied but bounding. Lila's stuffed bear clutched absurd, snatched from her room en route. Enough. He yanked a fire axe from the wall. Hefting. Victor laughed. Broken.
Boy.
You're Harlan reborn, thief at heart.
Ethan hesitated.
Axe trembling. The decision, swing or spare. I nodded, do it. Blade fell, not lethal, but shattering. Console cleaved. Servers sparking cascade. Echo died in flames. Pods venting steam.
Digital ghosts dissipating.
Victor slumped.
Defeated.
It's over. Over? Siren swelled. Gus's team swarmed.
Cuffs clicking.
Sophia dragged out. Spitting venom. Ethan dropped the axe. Collapsing into me, Elena or Vivian.
Didn't matter.
I sold the docs, he confessed.
Sobs racking.
For Lila's safety, Victor's lie. Thought it'd protect us all.
All.
The betrayal's full circle, his greed masked as guardianship. My fall the price. Extraction. Choppers lifting. Compound ablaze below like a pyre for sins. Back in New York. Detainment suites for Victor and Sophia. RICO charges stacking like Jenga. Ethan. Deprogrammed. Faced manslaughter for the crash. Plea deal. Time served in echoes.
Me?
Vivian reclaimed. Glitches fading. But scars etched. Ashes of empire settled. New York hummed on, indifferent metronome to our wreckage. Victor's trial-dominated feeds, Bio-Titan falls, headlines crowed. Juries dissecting Echo's horrors like autopsy slides. Pods raided nationwide. Elites scrambling for alibis. Stock tickers hemorrhaging red. Sophia flipped first, testimony venom. Painting Victor the devil. Herself the duped doll. Ethan manipulated me. She whined on the stand. Crocodile tears for the cameras. Manipulated.
Pot.
Kettle. But her flip buried her deeper. Accessory to kidnapping. Perjury piled high. Sentenced to 20 in white-collar purgatory. Her Insta empire dust. Ethan's reckoning hit softer. But scarred. Crash manslaughter plea. 5 years. Minimum security upstate. Rehab for the soul, his lawyer spun. Visitation days. I'd trek the thruway. Lila in tow. Her small hand in mine a tether to sanity. He'd aged a decade in months. Eyes hollowed. Glitches gone but ghosts lingering.
Mom.
I get it now, the weight you carried.
Wait.
Harlan's theft. My perjury. His cover-up, sins compounded like interest. Forgiveness? A process. Not a pill. We rebuild, I'd say, pressing his hand through plexiglass. Rebuild. The 350 mil, seized in forfeiture, trickled back to victims, Crash Family's trust, Lila's college fund. Pennies on the dollar, but justice's coin.
Me?
Vivian Hargrove. Reborn in the fallout. Book deal offers flooded, from streets to shadows, a mother's revenge, but I ghosted them. Opting for quiet, bookkeeping for nonprofits. Queen's co-op with a view of the bridge that bridged our breaks. Echoes faded. Elena's poise a faint aftertaste, sharper instincts. But Vivian's heart. Controversial coda. The swap's final glitch. Nights. I'd wake in sweats. Body dysmorphia, whispering whose skin? Hackers vanished. Tech scrubbed, DARPA's hounds on the scent. But the real twist. The truth reversed? It dropped like a guillotine 6 months post-fire. Victor's cell confession. Leaked via a guard's conscience. Not just Harlan's theft, mine. Decades buried. Young Vivian. Ambitious waitress. Harlan's in turn at 18. The neural patent? My brainstorm. Sketched on napkins during late shifts. Pitched to Harlan for shot at the bigs. He stole it wholesale. Buried my credit. Paid silence with Ethan's future. The will's codicil his guilt gift. Victor? The original inventor. Yes, but I'd iterated. Unknowingly Harlan's mule in the heist. My mistake. Perjuring to bury my own claim. Terrified of losing the boy to scandal.
Ethan?
Conceived in that internship haze. Harlan's blood diluted but binding. The reversal gutted. I'd borne the sin. Not for Harlan, but self-preservation, protecting the empire that birthed my son. At Victor's expense. Betrayal? A Mobius strip, each twist looping back. Victor's endgame? Not greed, but reclamation. Echo to resurrect stolen minds. Mine included. You were the fire, his letter read. Smuggled pre-suicide. Suicide. Victor hanged in his cell. Note pinned. Justice served cold.
Cold.
The debatable end. Villain or victim. His death sparked riots. Elites versus everyman. Forums ablaze. He deserved it versus systems the killer. Ethan took it hardest. M.I. Yours? Harlan's. DNA confirmed post-mortem. Grandson true. But shadows lengthened. Our talks deepened, philosophy over vending coffee. You fought for me, he said, voice steady. Even when I didn't deserve. deserve. The hook that hooked us back. Lila thrived. Oblivious bloom, art classes, soccer fields, calling Ethan Uncle E on calls. She mended what money broke, family not in fortunes, but fault lines navigated.
Me?
I debated the mirror daily, hero of the hour, or architect of the fall. The controversial legacy, swap tech whispers persisted, underground clinics offering continuity to the desperate. I'd testify against, but quietly fund anti-eco lobbies. A vigilante's tithe. Ending? No tidy bow, life's not Netflix. Happy? In fragments, Ethan paroled early for good behavior. Starting a victim's aid nonprofit, Irony's Redemption. We gathered Thanksgivings in the co-op. Lila's laughter chasing ghosts. Tragic? Victor's void echoed. My perjury's stain indelible. Ethan's glitches a PTSD shadow. Debatable. Did revenge heal? Or hollow? Readers, you decide. But as I watched the skyline from my window, bridges lit like promises kept, I whisper to the dark, we survived.
Survived.
In America, that's the win. The city sleeps, but grudges, they dream.